Well, one of the biggest remaining unrestricted free agents that was still in the market has made up his mind, and I'm pleasantly surprised and excited on his decision. Hi there, it's Brett Hornby here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel and the overhaul of the Calgary Flames core heading into the 2022-23 season continues. And this will be kind of a two-parter, because the first part we'll talk about what I'm really excited for and the pleasantly surprised on Nazem Kadri, one of the top unrestricted free agents still available on his decision, and then another decision that the Calgary Flames had to make with Sean Monahan. But Nazem Kadri, he signed with the Calgary Flames. Yes, we got him. Nazem Kadri, who thought, and I kind of gave up, that it sounded like, he was going to sign with the New York Islanders, and knowing Lou Lamoriello, how he conducts his business, I'm thinking the contract was signed, it was filed in his filing cabinet, he locked it, and decided to go take a nap and go whatever he does, and then September 14th, we'll all act surprised when it's like, oh yeah, we did something in the off season. But maybe Nazem Kadri was impatient, as he did ultimately decide to sign a 7-year deal worth $7 million a year for $49 million with the Calgary Flames. And oh boy, I couldn't be any more excited about it. I'm pleasantly surprised. I think a couple of reasons why, a month into when Free Agent Frenzy opened up, that this decision did not get made until recently was I think Nazem Kadri, his number one priority was to stay with the Colorado Avalanche. And the Colorado Avalanche, don't blame him, he had his best season last season, and he won the Stanley Cup and played a big part of it. Definitely showed he has matured and became less of a liability that he had, when he was still younger days with the Toronto Maple Leafs. But then it was, ultimately managing the salary cap, which is ultimately what forced the Calgary Flames to make another decision with Sean Monahan and trading him away, which I'll talk about that in another video. But ultimately, Nazem Kadri decided to cash in, and it sounded like the Islanders were offering the similar 7-year deal worth $7 million a year. But I'm glad he picked the Calgary Flames, and he definitely will have a fit here as a number 2 center behind Elias Lindholm. I am also going to say, with the overhaul in the core that the Calgary Flames have had this offseason, forced by, free agency decisions, I think Brad Treliving has made his case on being the general manager of the year, on what he was dealt with and what he's been able to replace the core with. Because I was not feeling as good as a Flames fan 5 weeks ago when Johnny decided to say, I want to hit the market. Matthew Tkachuk saying I wanted to not sign long term, but getting Jonathan Huberdeau in that trade, now getting Nazem Kadri, I'm going to say this will replace Matthew Tkachuk's grit. As well, the Calgary Flames will find a replacement for Erik Branson from that trade with Mackenzie Weegar. And then you could say Kevin Rooney also got in as a fourth-line center, because that's why Sean Monahan definitely was... My phone just went off for some reason, but getting back to the video, that basically the 4 players that went out with Johnny Gaudreau, Matthew Tkachuk, Erik Branson, and Sean Monahan, Calgary's replaced him with Johnny Huberdeau, Nazem Kadri, Mackenzie Weegar, and Kevin Rooney. So now we have one quartet coming out and one quartet coming in. But Nazem freaking Kadri, he's a Calgary Flame. And I am tempering also my expectations. I'm excited he's coming here. He is someone who embraces the stage. I mean, he's played on the big stage of the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Colorado Avalanche. Kind of has that cocky swagger to his game. He definitely will be loved here in Calgary, just the way he plays the game. I mean, he has that unique ability to provide some offense and be that polarizing player that we definitely lost that with Matthew Tkachuk. And has game day experience and showing that he's not that liability as much in the playoffs when he was with the Toronto Maple Leafs. But how the contract breaks down with Nazem Kadri, according to Cap Friendly, is yes, it is a 7-year deal worth $7 million up until the 2028-29 season. That's the most that Calgary could sign him for being someone outside of the market. The first 4 years of the deal, starting this season, up until the 2025-26 season, there is a no movement clause. And then the final 3 years of his deal, he has a modified movement clause, starting 2026-27 till 2028-29, where he can submit a 13-team no-trade list. And basically, his base salary is $7 million. However, the first 4 years of his deal, he actually gets a signing bonus of $2.5 million. That takes him up until the 2025-26 season. Then he has $1 million signing bonus in 26-27, and then no more bonuses. So the last 2 years are all just base. $7 million. Yes, the price is a little steep. Nazem Kadri will be 32 when next season begins in a couple months. So there is some concern that he'll be 37, 38 years old towards the end of the deal. But the Calgary Flames right now are not looking at that point of the deal. Kind of same thing with the Jonathan Huberdeau deal, where we're looking to win now. And given the off-season moves on who we lost and who we intend to replace with, we sent a message to the National Hockey League that Brad Treliving found a way to replace those assets and still say we intend to be a contender. And I definitely like this direction. I mean, the legend, he's building up the legend, Brad Treliving, this offseason. I mean, the day when we signed Kadri, he was down in Texas helping his daughter move for school while signing Nazem Kadri and ultimately trading away Sean Monahan. And there's other general managers that, say, oh, we missed out on this free agent because I couldn't find the money to move the cap space. Yeah, our general manager seemed to find a way. And I respect that and appreciate that. And I'm going to say, I like the direction the Calgary Flames are going in right now, coming in the next season. I'm looking forward to seeing the new core. I mean, now we got Huberdeau. We still have Lindholm. We got Kadri. Mangiapane's coming in. I think this team could be just as good or better than what we came out with after losing to the Edmonton Oilers. And speaking of that, I am looking forward to seeing Nazem Kadri now wearing this. I'm going to say, he's going to look really good wearing this. Battling out with Evander Kane. Especially after what happened in the third round series where there was that incident. I am looking forward to it. I'm just so happy to see Nazem Kadri. He picked to come here. The ultimate gamer. Yes, 3 years ago, he did nix a trade that we could have brought Nazem Kadri here after the end of the 2018-19 season. But it wasn't because he didn't like Calgary. He wanted to stay in Toronto. But then Colorado was on that list of teams that he was willing to accept a trade for when he signed that contract with Toronto. I'm going to say things have worked out. So Toronto at the time, he was the scapegoat, someone to move out for the Toronto Maple Leafs so they can work around the cap. I'm going to say he fit in well with the Colorado Avalanche, won himself a cup, but now we have a more mature, more refined Nazem Kadri with a cup ring. Coming here to Calgary, he is definitely going to fit in. He embraces the stage. He will play Calgary Flames hockey to a T. And he will be loved here in Calgary. And apparently, Cale Makar, ultimately, the local defenseman, who is from here, actually convinced him saying Calgary, it's definitely the place to be. And I'm going to say, if it was between the Calgary Flames and the New York Islanders, and if I was a free agent looking at the direction that both teams are going in right now, the Calgary Flames look like they're on the cusp on maybe doing something special. Because I think we were close last year. We bowed out against the Edmonton Oilers, but maybe these moves that Calgary's made will compete us better with the Edmonton Oilers and the Colorado Avalanche. So what do you think of this move for Nazem Kadri? I'm excited and pleasantly surprised. Not that he finally made up his mind. He is coming here to Calgary. What a signing. I'm going to say it's if payoff, we're looking at the payoff the first half of the contract, but if the revenues continue up in the NHL, as well as the salary cap, if it goes up till the mid-90s, that $7 million cap hit will look less stinky in the future. But Nazem Kadri, we're in this. It's beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful sight. So anyway, as I like to say, if you want to follow along with this Calgary sports fans' journey, home the Flames, Hitman, Roughneck Stampeders, as well as the Calgary SC, just make sure you hit like, subscribe, as I mostly do talk Calgary sports from each channel, recapping stories and that. I am a little late on getting this story in, but this story happened towards the end of the week when I was at work. And then actually yesterday, I planned on doing this video after work and errands. My internet and TV service was out. There was an outage in Calgary, so I couldn't get this video done and uploaded till now anyway. But I also do have a variety of non-sports content like personal vlogs, attempt to comedy, and I also do share my experience on the road or sport event. So if it all sounds like the interest to watch, do follow along with this Calgary sports fans journey. You know what you do, just make sure you hit like, subscribe. Also my other social media links down in the description below. And of course I have my second channel in Brett Hornby Shorts, where I exclusively put my short form content on there. So welcome to the Sea of Red, Nazem Kadri. As he kept saying in his Zoom call, he's a Canadian boy, loves the spotlight, loves the stage. I'm going to say you're going to be one of the fan favorites here in Calgary. And especially if we go somewhere in the playoffs, I'm going to say you love that Stanley Cup the first time. I think you'll love it the second time a lot more. I'm going to say you'll look a lot better hoisting the Stanley Cup wearing this or the road version of this. But I'm ecstatic. We got Nazem Kadri. He came here, one of the top free agents. It's nice to actually have players, after what happened to the start of free agency, who actually are good at hockey and actually want to come here and play. I think you can bump that myth, and I'm glad Brad Shulman stood up to the media and said it kind of pissed him off when we got that reputation. So welcome to Sea Red, Nazem Kadri. Thanks for watching. Go Flames go, and I'll see you in the next video.